everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Becky, if you don't know who I am. Hello, I am a musical theatre performer, actor, singer, teacher kind of person. Yeah, and I make musical theatre content on YouTube, so there you go. So today I thought I would be talking about casting types, in particular how to find your casting type. It's something that I've struggled with for ages, and I'm only starting now to figure out what my casting type is, and I think this video will be really helpful for loads of other people as well. So what is casting type? Well, it's basically the type of characters you're going to play. So it could be anywhere from I don't know, the ingenue, which is the young love interest female role that's often very sweet and timid, or it could be the villain. But normally there's a little bit more to it than just that. Sometimes you'll have more than one casting type depending on the particular production you're in, and also what style of theatre it is. So I have a couple of casting types depending on the style of theatre it is. But yeah, so let's get into it. So number one. There's kind of a couple of rules that can help you with finding your casting type, and I think the first one to start off with is your age. Think about songs that fit your age category. So at the moment I'm 23, I'm not going to be playing a 40-year-old, and I think what really messed me up was the fact that when I was at uni and when I was in community theatre stuff, or theatre school, stuff like that, just because I was a little bit different, a little bit older, a little bit more bolder in my choices, I was always cast as older characters, or the mum or whatever. And so for years I thought that my casting type was okay, it's the mum, it's the villain, it's that kind of character, and I was oh, okay. But then I've gone to auditions, and I've gone in the room with those types of material because I didn't know better, and been absolutely slated by the panel because they're that's not your casting type, why are you bringing this to the room? So think about your age. Age is really important. There is a little leeway depending on how you look. So yes, I'm 23, but often you get a couple of age above and below you. So it could be, I don't know, down to say 3 years below you and maybe 3 years above you. It kind of depends on the person. Because of the way I personally look, I can't play much younger than I am. I look a lot older than I do, not currently now, but just because of the way I'm wearing my hair, and the makeup I've done today. But if I'm dressed in my normal clothes, in my normal fashion, I look more older 20s. So I look more 28, 29. I can't really pull off 16 anymore, or I'm barely just getting 18, I think. Again, it's depending on the camera and obviously how I look at the moment. I do look younger right now, I realise that. But yeah, so my acting casting type that I've put myself in is the category of 23 to 29. And I feel 22 to 29. Because I don't think I can play much younger than I am, just looks wise. And just do this one off of looks. But yeah, so there are other details that hinder this as well. So your height, if you are say below 5, I would say 5'2", you are probably most likely going to be cast in younger roles. Unless you facially look a lot older, you are more likely going to be playing a younger age than you are, which is great because there is so much good material for that age group. But yeah, so age is kind of a big thing, and it will decide and help you exactly what types of songs you should be bringing to auditions and what your casting type is for now. I say for now because your casting type will change. It will inevitably change, and just as you're getting older, it will develop, and you're never going to play the same role that you played when you were 20, when you're 50. That just won't happen. And it's a good thing to keep checking in on your casting type, I think. If you just have a sudden change about yourself, it may change, your casting. So yeah. Number 2, think about what you look like as a person, okay? Everyone has a certain look, and sometimes it's really obvious and sometimes it's really not obvious. For me, it's really obvious. I look like a nerd. That is kind of my thing. I have to wear glasses. I've got such bad eyesight. I have to wear glasses. Contacts don't suit me. So unless I do a show blind, I'm going to have glasses. And that is a very big stereotypical look for a nerd character, which, the industry is changing and looks are changing. But this is just a general idea of what I would look like. I also have very soft features, my natural style choice. I wear like dungarees, I wear like big wide trousers, I wear nerd jumpers, I wear like Stranger Things jumpers, that kind of stuff, slogan t-shirts. I kind of very much fit into that category, and like I fully accept it because like I'm like, yes, nerds. But yeah, normally there is something that will kind of give you a feel for what you look like and what type of role you're going to play. One way I like to think about it is there anything featurely on your face that indicates it? So like for me, glasses, I have to wear them. There is a huge chance that I will be on stage with glasses. I'm very likely to play a nerd with those on, kind of thing. Another thing is think about your own style choices. So if you find that you are veering for auditions to wear certain outfits, that kind of gives the director and the panel an idea of your personality in itself. It is very vague, the whole idea of what you look like. And I think if you want to make it more your brand, your image, then veer into it, use it really well, and use that if you can. But if it doesn't suit you and you're really confused by it, don't worry, it's absolutely fine. There's just certain things that people will see you and be like, oh, you'd really fit into this, or you'd really fit into that. Okay, so number 3, your vocal type. Okay, so this is including in singing and also in speaking. So, singing wise, find if you are a soprano, a mezzo, an alto, a tenor, a baritone, a bass, you know, find which one you fit most comfortably in. I say which one you fit most comfortably in because more often than not, people can sing in more than one of the ranges. Like, I personally call myself a mezzo, but I can hit a top C, which is more soprano notes, and I can hit quite low notes. So that's why I'd end up with Frau Blucher, which is an incredibly low sung woman song. Just go through scores and just see what types of songs come up with those in those vocal types, because you'll start to find a pattern of the types of roles that fit. So often the ingenue will be a soprano. Sometimes the villain will be an alto. You know, they kind of do it in that sense. And it's the same with the guys. The tenor is the romantic lead normally. The bass could be the villain or that kind of character, the older character, things like that. So try and figure out where your vocal type is. Then think about your vocal type when you're speaking. So I'm very enunciated, I think, and I'm kind of like pingy and excited whenever I talk. And often if I get really excited, then I go like really high pitched. Which is that kind of like goofy, energetic energy that suits me. Other people might be, you know, just naturally they speak slightly duller. They might be maybe a lower pitch than me, or they might be a higher pitch than me. Same with guys. A guy might have a really high pitched speaking voice, and maybe he's got a really low speaking voice. With a really low speaking voice, imagine playing like villain parts with that kind of voice would be excellent. So yeah, think about that quality as well. So once you've started whittling down your age, your vocal type, and the way you look, you can then start looking at like the songs that characters fit those categories. It's not going to be an instant find. I'm still constantly finding songs that I think, oh yeah, this could be one of mine. Or then I'm with a song for ages, and then I'm like, actually, I don't think this is my casting type. Maybe not. It's not something that you're going to find an easy fix. And think of it this way, there is so much new musical theatre that keeps coming out. There's always going to be new material for you guys to find for new auditions and things like that. So like, don't ever be like, oh my God, it's so hard obviously it is hard to find songs, but don't ever be disheartened if you can't find a song straight away. But yeah, so there you go. That's my casting type video. If you need any help, please, you know, do reach out to other professionals. I found like, you know, the person who told me that I was picking the wrong casting type for years was another casting agent. Do use your resources around you. And I mean, like, there's so many videos on YouTube where they say about how to find your casting type. And admittedly, they do follow the same structure as what I've followed, but maybe they give more details, more information. So there is so many ways to do it. And the more research you do about different musicals and different shows, the more you'll be able to be so secure in your casting type. So there, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!